if Jimmy Kemp gets hurt or is yanked out of this game, Greg Hill's just a rookie, so the Argos in a real tenuous position right now at the quarterback position.
Thank you, David. Julian Graham knocking down that pass attempt by Jimmy Kemp. And there is Greg Hill standing beside the head coach, John Heward.
They have to go to Greg Hill. They're in disarray. Craig has not been in the league long enough. Now, he's a quality quarterback from Georgia Southern. Won a couple of national championships down there in Division I AA. But he is not ready to take control of an offense yet in the Canadian Football League. And it would be a travesty if, in fact, he was forced into action tonight.
Well, it would clarify something that you thought, that they didn't give Sampson enough of a chance after going 3 for 6 if he actually had to come out of the game. He was hurt. Here's Kemp taking off. Jimmy Kemp running past midfield and a big first down for Toronto.
This is an area where Jimmy Kemp is simply underrated, is his mobility. But as you talk to defensive coordinators around the league, they realize that he's not very different from an O.T. Sampson, from a Nealon Green to a Henry Burris. He's got mobility and he can move the chains. We just saw it there.
Jimmy Kemp acquired by the Argos in a deal that included Nealon Green going the other way last year. Play action fake and throwing and completing. And Daryl Mitchell with only his second catch of the day. It's just shy of a first down.
Beautiful timing by Jimmy Kemp. Just a little play action, step up, throw it rhythm before Daryl Mitchell's out of his break. As soon as he snaps his head, the ball's right on him. That's great timing. Two veterans getting after it right there. I know Daryl's hungry for that football. You can see it in his eyes. Give it to me. I know I can help you.
Oh, he certainly can. 2 catches, 28 yards. And the Argos' best games, by no coincidence, Daryl Mitchell was having his best games. One game for 5 catches and a couple of touchdowns. The other for 6. Harold Nash picks it off. Could he be gone? He's being chased by Ryan Terry, who hauls him down, piggyback style. He rode him for another 2 or 3 yards.
Ooh, that's ugly. But Harold Nash made a beautiful pick. Great anticipation. Arms extended out. Didn't catch it the first time. Made sure of it the second time. Looked like Jimmy Kemp was trying to find Mike Pinball Clemens on a little sit-down route. And then you see Nash just peel out in front, time it perfectly, had eyes on Kemp the whole way. And now it's a foot race. And Ryan Terry and his big old body and long legs gets on top of Harold Nash and says, yeah! Our turnovers, penalties have continued to haunt the Toronto Argonauts tonight.
It has been ugly. There was one good drive in there late in the first half, but for the most part, not a pretty sight. Got the turnover, George Jones. Finally, Donovan Carter gets back at him and takes him down. Time and again, the Argonaut defense has been called upon to take over. In trouble right away.
They really have.
He's had some good field position.
And they've answered the bell, Rod. They've answered the bell more times than not. They put on most of the points here tonight for the Argonauts, which is par for the course. What I've seen is redirection by so many defensive players on both teams. Donovan Carter to Fred Perry to Antonio Armstrong, redirect, and once they're out of the play, get back up and get to the football. And we just saw Donovan Carter do the same thing there.
Second down. Jones taken down. Moving in quickly, Calvin Tiggle. So once again, Kahari Jones set up a nice field position, but they can't move the football, and the field goal unit coming back out again.
Again, Toronto's defense is just flourishing with the addition of Tyrone Rogers. I can't explain enough and often enough how important it is to have Rogers in the lineup. It takes heat off of Johnny Scott, frees up Fred Perry. Dunbrack's more effective off the edge. I believe everybody's benefited.
30-yarder for Troy Westwood in his third field goal of the night. 3 more points on and a 24-13 Winnipeg lead here in the third on CFL Live.
I toured with Crocus in '83. I was there for every show. I love metal. At this one show, I was so excited I passed out. Hey, Joanne! Crocus.
This is part one of our doubleheader on CFL Live. After this one, we'll head out to BC Place Stadium. The Lions hosting the top team in the West, the Calgary Stampeders. John Wells and Glenn Suter will have that for you. And a little revenge the Lions are looking for. 10:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 Pacific. There's a former Lions coach, won a Grey Cup in BC, along with Eric Tillman in 1994, talking it over with George Jones. His running back, 4 of his 7 carries, Jones's, have been resulting in losses. The other 3, of course, picking up about 20 yards now, but it's been a tough night on the ground.
That's aggressive play there. Dave Ritchie knows how important it is for his team to capitalize on that field position and put the ball in the end zone, because it cost them a game against Montreal where they only were able to get field goals instead of majors and ended up losing the football game for them. I believe that was the first game of the season. Ritchie talks about that, and he knows that his team missed opportunities several times here tonight, and this could be a blowout at this point, but it's still only an 11-point game.
That's the biggest story of the game to me, what that Argo offense has not been able to do. 82 yards passing for Kemp, but still not enough. And they've given up the ball as well, the block punt. And Albert Johnson up to his old tricks again.
Yeah, these numbers right here by Kemp are those are a series drive right there. Those aren't game drives.
For some reason, they kick it short. And it's taken down by Eric Lapointe, who has pretty sure hands at the Argo 50. So with a flag down, however, Winnipeg sets up Toronto in much better field position.
Yeah, it just looks like offsides.
Offside, Winnipeg, number 19. That penalty's declined.
I should think
First
so.
down.
Yeah, Winnipeg's philosophy and thought process there is, hey, why not take a shot, onside it, try to catch Toronto off guard, maybe napping a little bit,
Sure.
take control of the football, and put this game out of reach, because we're not worried about their offense and moving the football.
You know, that's a great point. And had they got it, it would have looked absolutely brilliant. But yeah, the way the Argo offense has been so ineffective, it isn't as much of a gamble. Ryan Terry tied up, nowhere to go. Bomber D's all over him. They lose yards. Second down. Rylan Wickman, what a catch the Bombers feel they have in him. Guy that gives it all out every play. They saw tape of him and were amazed at how intense he was every single down, Matt.
Well, you have to be intense when you're 5'10", 225 pounds, but he brings it. He played his college ball at Sacramento State, and I introduced him at the top of the show as a Zach Thomas of the CFL, and he certainly has that mentality and has a nose for the football.
An AP All-American and set several tackling records at his school. And under more pressure, Jimmy Kemp throws it away. And they'll be punting.
Oh, this hurts. Just hurts looking at it. I'm glad I'm up here with you, Rod. And that's Jimmy Kemp down there. He's under some extreme pressure. Brian Clark out and around, and then Antonio Armstrong finishes him off. And does he ever, right between the numbers, and says, sit down.
And a flag has come down well after the whistle.
Intentional grounding. Toronto, number 15, third down.
Well, I just figure he threw it away as he was going down anyway.
That's just out of that's out of self-defense. I don't have it. I don't have it. But it didn't work that time.
So it just pushes Prefontaine even further back on a third down and 20 now. And watch the pressure by Winnipeg. Why not? 3 times tonight they have really been coming hard. And they just blocked the punt. It could have set up a touchdown. It didn't. He gets this one away. Albert Johnson had some big returns. That one not much as he gets up across the 25. Another flag is down. Perhaps a holding call. 49-yard boot, about the average for Noel Prefontaine. 9-yard return for that guy, Albert Johnson.
Illegal block. Winnipeg, number 30, first down.
Tyrone Rogers, just over this week to the Argos. Last 2 seasons he'd been with Winnipeg, didn't want to take a pay cut, so he went and played arena football.
stay active, stay in shape. The big man's certainly doing that. He's getting us plenty of playing opportunity tonight.
Dave Ritchie wasn't happy to see him back in the CFL in Toronto. He tried to get back in Winnipeg, and he wanted to be let go at the end of the season, Ritchie says, so he could play in the XFL. The Argos deny they've made any deal with Rogers to release him at the end of the season. There's a handoff to George Jones, has some room. Across the 20, there a first down taken down by Brad Elbert.
You don't see this many times. Martavius Houston missing a tackle. It shows you how hard George Jones is actually running. Here's Martavius right here. Say it once, say it 10 times today. Leads the league in tackles. It's kind of held there by our man. Mudge got it away with another one. We're catching him all over the field tonight. Sorry about that, Dave, but opened up a hole for George and didn't get caught. More power to you.
Play action fake and some time for Jones, who has an open receiver who can't hang on to it. Jeroy Simon, who has to think about that one for a second or two before he gets up. And that was the last play of the third quarter. A 15-minute period where Winnipeg's increased its lead to 11. Now 24-13 on CFL Live through 3.
The CFL Live on TSN at the quarter. Brought to you by New Arctic Ice, the invigorating new fragrance of the Gillette series. It's beyond refreshing.
Duthie, Tillman, and Schultz back with you, and a woeful quarter offensively for the Argos, but considering the field position the Bombers had, including that 1st and goal from the 1-yard line, for them to only come away from 2 field goals has to be somewhat of a victory for the Argos. The defense holding tough.
Yeah, they really are, and I think you've got to give some credit to J.I. Albrecht for getting in Tyrone Rogers. I mean, he has certainly helped this defense tremendously, and they've hung in there when they've been on the field all night. A couple weeks ago, they were struggling in the offensive line. The old man went out and found Jerry Kraft, so let's give J.I. his due.
And for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, it looks like this game is going to be determined on an interception, a turnover again. This time it's Harold Nash. We've seen 2 picks. We've seen 2 block punts. There's no doubt the fact is that they are controlling their own destiny by getting these plays and determining into victory at 24-11 right now. That is 2 scores they need to win, and it's because of what Winnipeg is doing, getting the football, taking it away. Right here, Harold Nash makes the right decision to take the football away. And remember, defensive backs, you got 3 decisions. Do I go for the tackle? Do I go and get the tackle and the ball, or I go for the pick? Harold Nash made the right decision. It may determine the game, James.
All right, we don't have a lot of time left, so I want a John Heward answer from you on this one, Eric. Argos special teams.
Awful.
The Rich Little of studio analysts, Eric Tillman. Let us send you back to Toronto for 4th quarter action. Very impressive.
Right here we got a real good look at Kahari Jones and what he's going through right now and running the gamut of emotions. He throws a strike to Jeroy Simon, who does a classic look before he catches the ball, look away before he catches the ball, puts it on the ground, and look at this reaction here. It says it all, folks. Oh, man. Squeeze that for me. Sometimes looks can say more than words.
And to quote Eric Tillman, quoting John Heward, awful could describe the offenses both ways in the third quarter. Winnipeg, 1 first down. Toronto, 2 first downs in that third quarter. That's awful.
What can I say?
Trying again here, well overthrown. Kahari Jones is not having a good night. That's an understatement. Not like he had in earlier games. The numbers bear that out, as he says, my bad. Offense at a premium tonight.
This right here's kept the game ugly, and this right here's kept the game ugly. That is just total offensive yards by Winnipeg is 87. That's ugly, and this 140 by Toronto is probably average for the game. There's just defense is dominating, and when defenses dominate, it looks fairly ugly on the football field, but defenses have simply played fantastic tonight.
They really have. Punt by Cameron. Pass midfield on the roll. Andre Williams, pinball Clemens, who has it. They both get popped for it, and Williams ends up taking it down to the 42. And that's Brendan Ian-Badgel, the tackle. Number 4, Winnipeg. Big hit. Argo ball when we come back on CFL Live. Our next game on TSN in this doubleheader, right after this one, BC hosting the Calgary Stampeders, and the Lions thinking of revenge after an early meeting that was all Stamps leading the way in the West. Part 2 of the doubleheader coming up after this one here in Toronto. Jimmy Kemp, 1st and 10 out of the shotgun to pinball. Harold Nash on him, but not before he gets free. Look at Michael Clements go as he gets a first down and an awful lot more across midfield down to the 46 Winnipeg.
There's that size 11 shoebox. Harold Nash thought he had him. No, sir. And so did Brian Clark. No, sir. Pinball just looked like he was on a mission that time to lift his team up and say, hey, let's go. Follow me. I'll show you how to play this game. Pedal to the metal. There's our boy Whitman coming up and finishing, stapling Mike off after a tremendous run, hustling, breaking tackles.
In his 12th season, and speaking to him yesterday, another strong hint that this one indeed would be his last at the fulfillment of his contract. Ryan Terry taking it on the draw and getting it down inside the 40, down to about the 38 of Winnipeg. Argos on the move here in the 4th quarter.
Offensively, you've got to get the ball in your weapons' hands. That's Daryl Mitchell, Mike Pinball, Clemens, Ryan Terry. Got to have those touches. Got to have those people touch the ball, and that's what they're doing right now, and they're moving the chains.
Terry with 10 carries for 43 yards. They fake the handoff that time. Kemp throws, complete to Mitchell. Well, there you go, Matt. They get it into his hands, and another first down for the Argos.
Well, the hat trick. Mike Pinball, the first play. Ryan Terry, the second one. Then you see Daryl Mitchell, and they're having success. You've got quality weapons out there. Use them. Get them in space. Understand how to use them most effectively. Play action. Buys Kemp a little bit more time. That rush can't pin their ears back. They got to respect the run because of what Terry does. And now Mitchell's wide open. He can run his pattern and create some space.
Daryl Mitchell. His 3rd catch, he averaged 9 a game a couple of years ago. Another fake and throwing it off that time for Andrew English, but that falls incomplete. 2nd down.
Quarterback saying he's not looking at me. He's pointing his eyes. He didn't look at me, and he's under pressure back there. He's got to get rid of the ball in a very short period of time. And he does, and Andrew English is just not on the same page, and the ball's on the turf, and now a 2nd and long, advantage Winnipeg.
And Jimmy Kemp is 10 for 21 for 117 yards now. Argos without an offensive touchdown in this game. And it's batted down there by Brandon Hamilton, the coverage, and Andre Kerwan. And that sets up 3rd down, so no offensive touchdown, it would appear this time. Field goal unit coming on, and Jacob Marini.
Yeah, Jimmy Kemp, you know, did the best he could there, put the ball there, but that's just a tremendous play by Brandon Hamilton coming over the top. Daryl Mitchell coming, running across into coverage. Harold Nash is there waiting on him. Daryl thought he was open. He got the ball early. Then Daryl could do something, but Jimmy wasn't ready to distribute the football then, so Marini.
Yes, Jacob Marini. He's the one in town and the reason why they could deal Giancola off to BC. Puts her on the board. 8-point game again on CFL Live.
Hope you enjoyed the football game, everyone. I'm Gino Reda back here in our TSN newsroom. Back to Sky Dome in a moment. Right now, some hockey news to pass your way and a couple signings to tell you about. Defenseman Jason York avoided arbitration by signing a 1-year deal with the Ottawa Senators for $1.65 million. The agreement came just minutes before his arbitration hearing. The Senators also signed Derek King to a 2-year deal. Terms were not disclosed. King finished last season with the IHL Grand Rapids Griffins. The San Jose Sharks re-signed restricted free agent Nicholas Sundstrom today, avoiding a salary arbitration hearing. The right winger had 12 goals and 25 assists in 79 games last season. All the details coming up on Sports Desk at 11 Pacific. We'll have highlights of both CFL games tonight. We've got lots of golf, including the first round of the Demorier Classic at the Royal Ottawa, and of course, all the highlights from around the majors, including the Blue Jays thumping KC 15-7. Bombers lead the Argos 24-16. More of the 4th after this.
comfortable Accord sedan from Honda. It's one powerful car.
Toronto Argonaut owner Sherwood Schwartz presenting some money to a lucky fan who won the Lucky Looney contest, $11,723, representing $1, one Looney for every fan showing up tonight. If you want a chance, there's your number to call for the next Argo home game, Thursday, August 24th against BC. Let's go down to David Amber.
Okay, no problem.
We'll head to David right after this kickoff, after the field goal by Toronto, to make it a 24-16 game. Slipping is Corey Philpott, who's got into this game tonight on kick returns only, and he gets it up to the 20. Now let's go down to David.
Well, Sherwood, can you talk about owning a CFL team? Has it been everything you would hoped and expected at this point?
Oh, absolutely. It's as exciting as one can get.
What about your thoughts 2 weeks ago where you're going to wait and see what happens after this game and then reevaluate things? Where does it stand now?
Oh, when I meant to reevaluate it, I didn't mean that we're going to be getting rid of J.I. or getting rid of John. I meant that we were just going to see how we can move ahead with the people we have, what we can do to improve upon what we're doing.
Maybe a win tonight would be something that could help improve the atmosphere around here.
Absolutely. I think that the people who are not here tonight are missing out not only on an exciting game, but look, it's a beautiful evening, and that young lady came away with $11,700.
The Lucky Looney's turning into a lucky night for someone out there.
I think the Lucky Looney may turn this whole thing around, because I think people are going to realize that they have an opportunity here to win a significant amount of money, because the odds are really much better than any other event you can go to.
Well, Sherwood, thank you very much, and good luck to you the rest of the season.
Thanks a lot for having me on.
Thank you, David and Sherwood, and I'm sure Sherwood would admit, though, that he'd like to give away a lot more than $11,000, because it is $1 for every fan coming in, and there's really no way to sugarcoat the fact that this is a very disappointing crowd, man.
Yeah, but we're not selling a lottery here, a chance to win money. We're selling football in the Toronto Argonauts, and until this product offensively turns around and they start putting a better product on the field with J.I. and Coach Heward, then you're not going to have the fans come try to win $11,723.
It's Winnipeg football still, and George Jones in the carry on first down. And the Bombers just before that had only their second first down of this second half. It's not like things have been working out wonderfully for Winnipeg either in this game. Game of some big plays and some big mistakes as well. And Dave Ritchie would love to just get out of here with another one in the win column.
He'd like to put a major on the board, Rod, is what he'd like to do, because he's tired of field goals.
Taking and rolling out and staying on his feet and taking some punishment for it near a first down is Kahari Jones near the 42. Gets up.
Donovan Carter just beelines, had him in his sights for a good 10-15 steps. Let's have a listen to this. Kahari, great play action. That's why they call it a collision sport, not a contact sport. Oh, that's what it's all about right there. Hey.
I can tell from that chuckle you remember a quarterback that used to like to do the same thing.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. Hey, mano-y-mano. Strip the label of quarterback off your shoulders and go out there and play football, move the chains. It's exactly what Kahari Jones did there. And Donovan Carter bringing some serious hat on the defensive side of the ball, making a good play.
He's over here.
Another first down for Winnipeg on that run by Jones. Under pressure. Ball comes loose. And Calvin Tiggle had the ball, and it's still Winnipeg's in second down and long on that loss.
My man Fred Perry, 93, right off the edge here. Watch his quickness. Dave Mudge, fake inside. I'll go dance around the outside. Calvin knows, no, I know that from junior high school. Just roll on the football, cover it up. He tried to pick it up with his hands and move and run. Just fall down right here. He's trying to advance it and be a hero and get in the end zone. The only thing you need to do there is fall down on it, recover it, roll over, and squeeze it with 2 hands. Ensure the turnover.
However, Tiggle and his defense.
They're making it happen, aren't they?
They are. They have been most of the night. That's why the Argos still have a chance in this game, approaching the midway point of the 4th. Out of the shotgun in second, nearly 10 yards. They set up the screen, and it's not happening. It falls incomplete. Winnipeg will be punting.
Even if Jones would have caught that football, Calvin Tiggle was in his hip pocket, and he was going to rearrange his face some way, shape, or form. And George is probably glad that one was on the ground because Calvin read that perfectly, snuffed it out. They anticipated screen there, had good pressure on the quarterback. Calvin's been doing his study during the week, watching this film. Again, Toronto's defense rises to the occasion, stymies Winnipeg's offense.
It has been the big positive of the night as far as I'm concerned. Certainly for Toronto. Andre Williams taking it at his 35 and picks up maybe a yard. Toronto has the football. They trail by 8 in the 4th here on CFL Live.
See how generous she is. This is Triple Chill Cake.